Very bloody Christmas to y'all. I've been bedridden for the last few days with the fucking flu, and tomorrow is gonna be the day of, Mary Chrysler and such. Anyhow, let's talk about the only Christmas special that I actually like, which is called Merry Lexmas. It's from the third season of Smallville. Smallville was the long-running television superhero television show that ran from, I believe, 2001 to 2011. It was about Clark Kent, aka Superman's youth, and his time in the small village of Smallville, where he gradually discovers his superpowers and his responsibility that he has towards the rest of the world as such, culminating in the last episode in the 10th season, where he finally discovers his power of flight, and then he becomes literally Superman, because before that he doesn't wear the cape, he doesn't wear the tights, anything, and Third season, Lex Luthor, who at this point in the series hasn't really become a villain yet. He won't become one, a real villain until, I believe, the 5th or early 6th season. By that time, only his father, Lionel Luthor, is the main villain. And yes, Lex Luthor, however, is already rather corrupt, and one of his corrupt transactions gets him shot in an alleyway, where we end the pre-credits teaser thing. And afterwards we find out that Lex is now in a coma in hospital, and only a very dangerous operation could possibly save his life, or rather, this dangerous operation could save his life without having him crippled from the waist down. In the B plot, we got Clark Kent having to deliver toys because someone bailed on their responsibility as a delivery dude. I don't really remember, it wasn't that important, at least this part of the story. Basically, Clark Kent, aka Superman, is going to deliver toys by hand. But at this time in the series, I believe one of his friends already knows about his superpowers, and that's not that big a deal, so he's just going around giving these gifts, and he comes across some drunk dude on a rooftop who's about to jump to his death. In the A plot, meanwhile, we got Lex Luthor, who's once again in a coma. He's not doing that much. However, his father is doing a hell of a job being an awful dad, as he had been previously. I believe this was also the season where he had his son receive immense shock treatment, which he didn't really need. Like, Lex was not necessarily in need for this kind of shock treatment. Had him basically tortured in an insane asylum. Father of the Year award. Man, that Lionel Luthor. He sure is a chump. And anyway, in this case, he's worried because, I mean, his son is definitely going to survive it, but unless he's going to receive a treatment, a very experimental operation, he's not going to be able to walk ever again. He'll be wheelchair bound. And that is sort of a thing that his father doesn't really want. Lionel is like, wait, hold the fuck up. My son is not going to be a cripple. Fuck that, risk his life, get him to the emergency room in Metropolis. Like, he's in Smallville, in the Smallville hospital, I believe. Anyway, in the A plot, it turns out that this drunk guy is just really depressed because people ain't doing good shit on Christmas anymore. And Clark was talking to him and stuff, whatever. And the A plot again. Lex, in his comatose state of mind, is dreaming about a possible future Christmas in which he has a family with his love interest Lana Lang, and everything seems hunky-dory. He even has a child, and he's friends with with Clark Kent and his then potential future girlfriend, which would be Chloe Sullivan, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, then shit goes from bad to worse, in the case that in this future prediction, which he only has as part of a comatose illusion, he imagines that his wife is giving birth to a second child, and in labor encounters complications, and she's basically in mortal danger unless he can pay for something like really fucking expensive. And he doesn't have the money because he told his father a few years ago that he doesn't need him anymore, that he wants to have a normal life with his wife, and he told him to go suck it. And as a result of that, he's now fucked. And he goes back to his father, basically, symbolically speaking, on his knees, and begs him to help him. However, his father's basically like, bitch, please. Oh, you can suck up to me all you want. Your fucking wife can die. I don't know why I'm doing this accent, but your wife can die for all that I care. She's not worth shit, and you're not worth shit, and last time I checked, you ain't my son anymore. You can fuck off. So he's a bit bitter, and quite a bit salty, really. And yes, basically his wife dies. Also, Lex has like these little visions of his mother who's talking to him. The basic moral that Lex was supposed to take from this whole thing was unarguably supposed to be, listen, money isn't everything. You still have 2 beautiful children, lots of friends who will support you for all this. Sure, you will lose your wife probably, but still, these are hardships. And before that, you will have at least like 5 to 6 brilliant years of filled with love and compassion, all that stuff. And anyway, back in the real world, Lex's father has gone through with the operation and risked his son's life, but everything went hunky-dory. So Lex is not going to be crippled. And meanwhile, in the B-plot, Clark has now talked to the drunk guy and convinced him that, hey, everything ain't that bad and shit. And hey, that's good and crap. And then he, goes back and wants to take all the rest of the presents and give them to all those poor children and shit, and then he realizes, holy shit, somebody already took care of it. And then you see the fat old drunk guy, I guess, like, turns out to be the actual Santa or whatever. That's not important. Back to the A-plot, where Lex has come to the conclusion that what he really needs to do is not to live this beautiful, emotional life that could give him something that he was lacking before. No, his conclusion is, bitch, I need money, and I need it fast, and I need all the power I can get. That's what I need. Also, Dad, you're a fucking scumbag for losing it, for risking my life. And so, as a conclusion to all of this, it's sort of like the opposite of A Christmas Carol in that he hasn't learned to be more loving. No, he learned to be a greedy bastard because that's what he needed in the future, and he needs to take everything that he can, or it will be taken from him. Why is this a good Christmas special? Well, it teaches you that not everything is nice on Christmas. Sure, there's a certain kind of magic to it, but in the end, things can get pretty ugly. However, I still wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.